Look, another Battle Royale game. I can't wait. It's bound to be completely original. Geeks, nerds, gamers, and trolls, this is your MMOBomb.com first look at Radical Heights, a free-to-play Battle Royale now available on Steam. Man, I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. Free-to-play Battle Royale available on Steam. Who'da thunk it? That's a completely original idea. Today we're going to take a look at Radical Heights, see what the game has to offer, and give you an opportunity to help you decide if it's a game that you would like to try. So we're going to jump right in, see what the game looks like, sounds like, plays like. Take a look. As always, not a full review, not a guide. I am not a pro Battle Royale player, but the genre is definitely a fun one to play. So we're going to dive in and take a look and see what all this game has to offer. Now, the reason I start with this footage here is because I want to go ahead and get this disclaimer out of the way and just show you right off the bat. This game is the definition of early access. Check out all the gray block walls, textures missing, and a lot of stuff. Just know it's early access. The whole game isn't like this, by the way. This is just one of the buildings in the surrounding areas. There are several buildings that are like this, the gray block walls and no textures. And even some of the buildings that aren't necessarily gray block are missing a ton of textures right now. So just know when you get in, there are buildings in existence. You're going to see a lot of stuff missing. You're going to see placeholder assets. You're going to see different things out there. This is early access. And like I said, this is the very definition of early access. It doesn't get much more early access than this. At least it's free to play. There is an optional Founders Pack, but you do not have to pick that up to play the game. You can jump in for free. Founders Pack is 15 bucks. It's going to get you some cosmetic items to help you customize your character. We'll take a look at character customization. It's somewhat limited in the free version, but we'll go back and take a look at it here shortly. But like I said, just want to start out with this footage so you can kind of see there is some bare bones areas. There's going to be early access. This game is not complete. It's just not. So just know that going in if you're interested at all in Radical Heights. This game is being developed and published by Boss Key Productions, and you might be familiar with those guys. They are the ones behind LawBreakers, the game that they just announced they are abandoning because it just didn't work out. They couldn't find a player base. They refused to go free to play, so now they're moving on to the Battle Royale genre. So they're going to leave one fad in the hero shooter and chase another fad in the Battle Royale. That being said, I don't have all negative things to say about this. There's some things about this I really, really like, and we're going to get into that. As you can see, I wasn't able to find any weapons in the building I was in, so I'm going to bail out and try to head somewhere else. We're going to run into these vending machines and these ATMs, and I don't realize, this is probably my first or second game, I think, and I don't realize at first that I'm supposed to bash these ATMs to get the cash out of them. But there are vending machines, as you can see, and there's ATMs. The vending machines, if you pick up cash in the game by killing other players, bashing ATMs, bashing cash registers, you can pick up cash and you can spend money in these vending machines like I just did, and you get a weapon out of it. And those weapons come with ammo actually loaded in them. Unfortunately, if you find weapons just out and about laying on the ground in the world randomly, they're not going to have any ammo in them at all. And we're going to show some footage of a game that I actually won, a complete pacifist game. I won without killing a single person because I ran around for 95% of the game without any ammunition at all. I had a couple of guns, but no ammo. So, yeah, the vending machines are actually pretty cool. They play the theme from Top Gun, Highway to the Danger Zone, when you use them. And then the windscreen music at the end is also really awesome. We'll get to that in a few minutes. It's probably going to demonetize the whole video, but as you can see in this game, I'm playing duo with a friend. There's solo play, duo play, and there's a squad button in the menu out front, and we'll go out and take a look at all that here in a few minutes too. But squad is not activated right now. It's just either solo or duo are the only two queues available. So, you know, you can't grab just a whole bunch of friends and jump in. We had a third that we was trying to get to play with us, but wasn't able to get him in because we couldn't queue up for squad. So here we are dancing to the danger zone. We're in the danger zone. So we're just going to run around for a few minutes. I'm going to talk about the game, and we're going to flop some footage around here and there. I'm going to let this play for a couple more minutes. I think I die here pretty quick, but then I've got some more footage to show. We played several games. Like I said, I came in second once and first once, and then top 10 a few times. So plenty of footage to show off. Here, you can see me getting a piece of gear out of a vending machine, and then I start getting shot at, and I just try to turn and run, which was a mistake, and I'm dead. So we'll move on to the next footage and talk about some of the features that this game has and some of the things that I actually really like about the game. Now, without a doubt, my absolute favorite thing about Radical Heights is the 80s game show vibe. If you grew up on movies like Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is going to be sort of that theme. It's not the exact same thing, but it's an 80s game show theme. And I absolutely love that. Some of the music and the narration and the characters and some of the objects out in the world are just really over the top and cheesy, and like cheesy in a good way, in a really, really good way. So I really, really enjoy the overall theme of the game. Now saying that, when you get out in the world running into some of the buildings and stuff, some of the buildings and stuff sort of lose that vibe along the way. They look very normal, very every other battle royale. So I'd really like to see them amp up the 80s cheese and sort of the game show aspect a little more. The things like the vending machines and bashing the ATMs and the characters and the music that plays and the narration, those are all fantastic. This 80s style arcade is super awesome, really thematic, really helps set the game apart a little bit, because gameplay wise, it isn't all that unique and different. It's going to look like most everything else. So thematically, at least, they've got an opportunity to do something really special here. I'd like to see them really just, as this early access goes on, them really pour that 80s cheese into the game. As you can see, you can't actually get into vehicles, but you can ride bicycles. And I'm going to show off real quick. These things are hard to steer. They're not great when it comes to steering. One of the unique things about this game that I really, really like, though, is that the map is just littered with little small objectives. And we're not talking like just crate drops or just air supply drops or something like that. They do have those. They're called little spin to win things. And they'll come across the dome at the top and get dropped down randomly, and you see them going across the map just like an airdrop that you're used to. And you run to it and you spin the wheel and get random loot out of it. But there's other things like the vending machines. Those are points where players are going to be coming together trying to get items out of the vending machines, so you can camp some of those if you want to. There's special rooms where you go stand on a platform, and I'm not sure if I have any footage of one in this or not, but you go stand on a platform and you have to wait for this like Price is Right style door to open, and you wait to see what's behind the door whenever it opens. It's absolutely fantastic. There's little stuff like that. There's cash drops where money just rains from the sky in random places, and you just go stand inside of this raining money and you collect cash as you go along. But obviously that's very dangerous, because I've already seen lots of folks, I've snuck up behind people who were camping that little rain cloud of money, waiting for somebody to try to walk into it. So there's lots of little objectives on the map all over the place, randomly spawning, and some that are just static on the map. That's going to attract players to it. You're going to get bonuses if you walk away from it, but it's also really dangerous to walk up to it, and that's really exciting. It's not just the shrinking map that brings players together. Those over-the-top, cheesy game show type objectives are fantastic at creating contention points where players are going to get into fights, where normally, you get that lull in the middle of a battle royale where there's a solid 10 or 15 minutes maybe sometimes of not much going on as that first large group dies off, and then you're waiting for the map to shrink in to cause more fights. So these objectives do a great job of helping fill the void in some of that and creating more tension along the way. Now, as I run around in this footage picking up guns and equipment, you're going to notice this is the game. I win at the end. Spoiler alert, I win this one, and I love the music at the end, but it's better than Chicken Dinner, to be honest with you. The music is great, but this is the game where I don't get any ammo at all, and I'm not really running across vending machines that are just sort of in my path. I probably should have went more out of my way to try to hit up a vending machine, but I was trying to kind of stay on the outskirts and not necessarily die, because I wanted to get more footage and see more of the world and be able to show off more of the map besides just the unfinished stuff, because there is plenty of finished stuff to look at, and there's some pretty unique zones like golf courses and neighborhoods and the arcades, and there's bigger towns and little small neighborhoods like this, so there's lots to show off. So I was trying to skirt around and be able to show as much as I could in the footage. But yeah, I run around this entire game with no ammo, because the weapons that are on the ground just don't have any ammo in them. And if you're familiar with Fortnite, guns are going to work a lot like they do in Fortnite, almost identical. There's white weapons, green weapons, blue weapons, and gold weapons. Different tiers have, they do more damage, have more control, less recoil, things like that. Recoil overall in the game isn't bad. The gunplay isn't bad right now. The mouse isn't super smooth, but part of that's because the frame rates are not good in this game right now. Early access, ladies and gentlemen, early access, and it definitely is, from the unfinished aspects to the optimization, it is the earliest of early accesses that you could possibly play. So just know that going in. Frame rates should not really be an issue for my rig. I don't really have frame rates in any games, so we've just got some optimization to do as this game goes forward. But, overall, the Battle Royale genre, like I said, is fun to play. Nothing, the gun play isn't terrible. So it looks like once the optimization sort of gets handled, gunplay should come around with that, because that's probably part of it, is the frames jumping around. And I'm getting like, I can't remember. I don't think I have a counter up on the screen, but it was, man, I was in the 20s for most of all the games I played, which is not good. That's not where it should be right now. But yeah, you can see like little things like the path I just tried to walk over that I couldn't get over until I jumped over it. Just little stuff like that right now. Early access. If you'll avert your eyes to the bottom right of the screen, you'll see the inventory that you have to unlock as you go along here. You have to go around and collect like different backpacks, and there are different ones. There are like weapon slots where you can like pack around additional weapons, and then there's gear slot backpacks where you can pack around like bandages, and like I've got these manually activated explosives, or there's like inflatable dummies that you can use to try to distract the enemy. So you've got to find the gear, you got to find the guns, you got to find the gear, you've got to find the backpacks with the slot upgrades as well. So it's a lot of run around and searching, and as of right now, I just wasn't having a ton of luck finding a lot of good stuff. So probably vending machines are going to be a much bigger part of getting yourself geared out than what I did in this game necessarily. But at the same time, I did win this game without all of that. So, but it's the ending is hilarious. Like I said, I won without killing anybody at all, so it's pretty hilarious. And I only shot like just a few shots at the very end. So yeah, boring to watch. But I was actually running around like at a certain point trying to pick fights, but by that time it was just kind of closing down. You can see the map doesn't close down in circles like most of the Battle Royales do. There's a grid system over the map, and just different squares on that grid close down, and the storm or the barrier or whatever you want to call it moves in and shuts those areas down. As you can see, the red zones are ones that are already shut down, and the yellow is what's going to be shut down next. So it's actually pretty interesting, because at the very end, there's going to spawn in the last, when there's like 9 people left, I think it is, one little circle that everybody has to run to. But those different blocks along the way may change which path you have to take to get there, because they don't just close in on themselves. They make like little patterns and stuff in them where you kind of got to go around some blocks to get around to the next open space. So it's actually, as far as the map closing down, that's actually pretty unique too. So it was pretty interesting, because I was able to use part of the grid to kind of keep skirting on the outsides. Whenever I realized I was getting down to like the last few, I was like, oh, I'm going to be able to make this sort of final showdown. And I was like, well, I can at least run in there and get some footage of the final showdown and kind of show off how that works. And like I said, I just wound up getting really lucky and won the game. So, but I'm just running around right now trying to find ammo at this point. I'm like, man, I want to, like, we've looked at a lot of the map. I just want to get some freaking ammo for these guns so I can shoot at some people. You've already seen me turn and run from one guy. I turned the corner earlier and there was a guy standing there, but I had no bullets. I had nothing I could do besides run up and punch him. And odds are by this point, he's got at least a few shots that he could have taken at me. So I just had to turn and run. There you can see some of the way the grid shuts down. And like I said, like right there, it was like a big square triangle in the middle that was still open. It doesn't always shut down like that. Different blocks here and there I've seen shut down, and where you'll have to, like, if you want to run directly west, you'll have to go around a shut down block and then come back around and start heading west. So I like the way the map shuts down. So we're going to keep showing some footage. Like I said, the pros, I really love the 80s game show theme. Some of the over-the-top cheesy stuff. I like the way they have lots of little objectives out in the map. The downsides right now are the map is not complete by any stretch of the imagination, and the optimization is not good right now. So going forward, those are the things, obviously, the development team are going to be focusing on, hopefully. And here you can see me just collecting some items. This gives you some cash. Just collect the items, get some cash, but I never quite run into a vending machine, I don't think. So let's jump ahead to the final showdown, and I'm going to be running in. I'm going to stop, and I'm going to be able to pick up one of these spin to win things, so that's an opportunity to show that off too as well. This is going to be sort of your air supply drop. They kind of float across the map and then drop down. I don't think I look up in any of this footage, but if you look up, this entire area is covered by like a big dome that's got like a steel framework in it, and these kind of go along cables up in the sky, and then they randomly drop down. But like I said, you can watch them go across the map and kind of follow them. And you can see me trying to figure out how to open this at first. And here in a second, I'll finally figure out to look up. And you got to click on it. And then you get a spin to win. Yay! And this is where I finally get some ammunition out of the gun that drops out of this. Finally. A little piece of headgear, some other stuff. It looks like that bike dropped out of it too. Maybe I'm losing my mind. I think the bike dropped out of it too. I'm not sure. Speaking of the objectives, though, real quick, before we get to the final here, and you can see there the golf cart down in the ground. Little stuff, early access. The bikes, when you jump on a bike, there are different like little bike races where you jump on a bike and you got to get to a certain location by a certain time. And, you know, that's one of the little objectives. You can win prizes doing stuff like that, too. So there's, like I said, man, there's a ton of cool little things to do. So you're going to see me running out of the, I'm going to keep calling this a storm because I'm used to playing Fortnite. So excuse me for referring to it as a storm. I don't know what this game actually calls it, but I'm out in the bad and I've got to get over into the good to this final circle. There you can see, you see the big thing up in the sky there? That's the final showdown circle. So that's actually pretty cool, where it doesn't just close down to one tiny little circle and you finish out. There's actually like, okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to finish up. And there's this circle you got to run to. And you got to run in there, and it's not necessarily like there's still open areas around it, but it's like, okay, this is where the showdown's going to happen. So there's a door with no, I'm assuming there's supposed to be steps to that. So now like I'm like, okay, there's 6 people. I actually have 20 bullets. I have 20 whole bullets this entire game, and I've skipped a big chunk of this game too, by the way, and I apologize if it was boring to watch. This was just the game that I had. So yeah, I've got 20 whole bullets. These are the only 20 bullets I've had for this entire game. We're now down to the final 4. You can see me. Yes, I am hiding out for a few minutes. I'm hiding out at the end of this game, and now we're down to the final 2. I'm like, okay, now it's time to do something. So this is the part, and you can see this is closing in on me. So I'm like, crap. Now I got to move because I was hoping the guy was going to come to me, but I got to get over further into the final showdown circle. So you're going to watch me creep around a little bit, and we're just going to let this play out until the end. And then we'll jump out to the lobby, look at character creation. I do have character creation footage and kind of show you that, and then we'll wrap it up. But yes, I'm going to run over, and you can't hear footsteps. And I've sort of got an idea of where this guy sort of has to be at this point, right? Like, I just came out of that house. He wasn't over there. I didn't hear anything. So I'm coming in here, and I'm not sure if you can hear it because I'm sure the game volume isn't as loud as it was when I was playing. But I hear this guy moving around outside, and it's pretty obvious where this dude's going to come from. So here I'm trying to prep myself, get ready. He's got to come. Yep, there he is. And then I take my shots. I don't know if I even hit the guy. But he just threw his grenade. It bounced back at him and killed him. And I am a winner. I'm the best around. That's right, baby. Noob Fridge wins without killing a single person. That's how it's done. Super legit. Get on my level. Haters gonna hate.
Contestant is going to outlast the competition, win it all, and reach those.
Hey, that's my line, Roddy. No, never again, Roddy. Bad Roddy.
Like I said, little things like that, like the narration, are some of the stuff I really like about this game. So let's take a look at character creation and wrap this thing up. This has gone long enough. Like I said, character creation very limited right now, especially with just the free-to-play. You've only got a handful of things to sort of choose from starting out. Males only right now because female models are hard to do, according to some developers. So black guy, white guy, and then just a handful of skin tones and a couple of hairdos, and you can change the color of your hair, and that's gonna be about it. If you want to buy the Founders Pack, you'll get more options. You can also, as you go around the map, you'll find unlocks for cosmetics as well. I haven't found any yet, but I have seen some other folks pick those up in streams and stuff. So there are unlockable cosmetics you can get just by playing the game. But a big chunk of that starting out is going to be in the Founders Pack, $14.99 if you're interested in that. Otherwise, just grab a free dude and jump in and play. So that's going to pretty much do it for this first look of Radical Heights. Like I said, if you want to check it out, you can head over to Steam, play it for free, and an optional Founders Pack for $14.99 if you want some more cosmetics and stuff. So far, the cash shop is just all cosmetics. So we'll see going forward. That's one of those things I've been sort of low on here lately because I've been caught out by a couple of cash shops. The last few first looks I've done where, you know, initially they were pretty benign. There was nothing in there. And then like a week or two after the first look goes out, stuff changes. So I'm done making declarations of cash shops are cosmetic only. So as of right now, it's cosmetic only. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes down later on. But yeah, a lot of things to like here. You know, it's a clone of Battle Royales. It's every other Battle Royale game as far as the base game. But there's lots of little things that I really like about it that could really help set it apart. And, you know, I sort of said that about RoboCraft too, that the robots and stuff could make that really unique. But this one here, like, I've actually got legit interest in this going forward. Where Robocraft, maybe, you know, if they have some big overhaul, I might go check the game back out. But this one right here, I'm actually really legitimately going to be keeping an eye on, because I would like to see this going forward. I would like to really see them throw on the 80s cheese really heavy and really take this to the next level. So, you know, first look, because of the art style and stuff, is going to draw a lot of comparisons to Fortnite probably. There's no building, but just from the art style aspect and the way that the weapons work with the different tiers of weapons, it's going to draw a lot of Fortnite comparisons. So going forward, we'll just have to wait and see if these developers can do with this game what they were unable to do with LawBreakers, and that's attract an audience. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this first look at Radical Heights. As always, check out MMOBomb.com for all your free-to-play news and information. I've been the Noob Fridge, Troy Blackburn. You can check me out on twitch.tv/NoobFridge. And as we sign off, we'll just keep an eye on this game going forward and see if PUBG decides to just sue their pants off, because that's a thing they seem to be doing here lately. They seem to think they invented anything and everything in video games ever. So this game has a lobby, it has an airdrop, it has guns, it has Battle Royale. So lawsuits in the future, I would assume. But I'm going to sign off. We're going to call this first look done. I am out. Thank you for checking it out. We'll catch you next time.